This Ferrari costs nearly $700,000. This Xiaomi costs around $70,000. One costs almost 10 times as much as the other. One comes from a company that has spent nearly 80 years building some of the fastest cars on Earth. The other comes from a company that spent most of its life making smartphones and has been building cars for less than 4 years. If you asked almost anyone which one would win a drag race, they'd all give you the same answer. Until the lights turned green. The Ferrari didn't just lose, it got left behind by a company that used to sell phones. That single race forced the entire car industry to face an uncomfortable question. How did a company that wasn't even a car maker a few years ago build a family sedan capable of beating one of Ferrari's fastest production cars? Because this isn't really a story about one race. It's the story of what happens when a technology company starts thinking differently from everyone else. The race nobody believed. When the two cars rolled onto the drag strip, almost everything favored Ferrari. Its name alone carried nearly a century of racing history. Formula One, Le Mans, countless championships, generations of engineers chasing speed above everything else. On the other side sat a bright yellow Xiaomi SU7 Ultra. Most people outside China had barely heard of it. To many viewers, it wasn't even a real sports car. It was simply a phone company's first attempt at building an electric sedan. Before the race even started, something unexpected happened. Matt Watson couldn't even figure out how to launch the Xiaomi. The menus were still in Chinese. The launch sequence required several different steps. Then a 60-second countdown appeared on the screen. Everyone laughed. For a moment, it looked like the biggest challenge wouldn't be beating Ferrari. It would be figuring out how to start the car. Then, the countdown reached 0. The lights turned green. And the Xiaomi exploded off the line. Not gradually, not by inches. It disappeared. The numbers almost didn't make sense. The Xiaomi completed the quarter mile in about 9.3 seconds. The Ferrari crossed the line almost a full second later. In drag racing, 1 second feels enormous. Some viewers immediately assumed something had gone wrong. Maybe Ferrari missed the launch. Maybe the driver made a mistake. Maybe the track favored electric cars. So they raced again. And the Xiaomi won again. At that point, the question changed. People stopped asking, did Ferrari lose? Instead, they started asking, what exactly is this thing? Inside the car that shouldn't exist. The Xiaomi SU7 Ultra isn't supposed to exist, at least not according to the traditional rules of the auto industry. It has 3 electric motors, 1 driving the front axle, 2 driving the rear. Together, they produce an astonishing 1,548 horsepower. That's more power than a Bugatti Chiron. And yet, the price in China starts at roughly $70,000. That alone sounds almost impossible. But horsepower isn't what surprised engineers the most. Software did. Step inside the car and something immediately feels different. The center screen behaves less like an old-fashioned infotainment system and more like a giant tablet. Updates arrive over the air, menus feel familiar, the interface responds instantly. Everything seems designed by people who spent years building consumer electronics instead of dashboards. Even the launch control isn't controlled by mechanical switches, it's software. Motor output, battery temperature, traction. Power delivery. Thousands of tiny calculations happen before the car even begins to move. The driver presses one pedal. The computer handles everything else. That's why the Ferrari struggled on the dusty drag strip, while the Xiaomi barely seemed to care. Ferrari still relied on decades of mechanical engineering. The Xiaomi relied on something different. It constantly adjusted power between 3 motors, making tiny corrections faster than any human driver ever could. The result wasn't just more acceleration, it was more confidence, more consistency. And perhaps the most surprising part of all, this wasn't the second or third or fourth generation of Xiaomi's electric car. This was their very first. Which raises an even bigger question. If a company can achieve this on its first attempt, what happens after 10 years? To answer that, we have to leave the racetrack and look at the company that built it. The company that never thought like a car company. Most car companies begin the same way. They learn how to build engines, transmissions, suspension systems. Then years later, they slowly learn software. Xiaomi did the exact opposite. For more than a decade, software was already its business. Every smartphone, every smartwatch, every smart TV, every smart home device taught the company one important lesson. People don't just buy hardware anymore. They buy ecosystems. That mindset completely changed how Xiaomi approached its first car. Instead of asking, how do we build another sedan? They asked, how do we build the smartest device our customers will ever own? Suddenly, many decisions started making sense. A digital-first dashboard, over-the-air updates, deep integration with phones, voice control, cloud connectivity, artificial intelligence. None of these ideas were new to Xiaomi. They had already been refining them for years. The only difference was that this time, the software happened to be wrapped inside a car. That may explain why the SU7 doesn't always feel like a traditional automobile. It feels like a giant smart device, one that happens to weigh over 2 tons and produces more than 1,500 horsepower. For decades, car companies tried to make cars more like computers. Xiaomi simply started with a computer and turned it into a car. That sounds like a small difference, but it changes almost everything. When a car becomes a computer, for nearly a century, the biggest advantage in the auto industry was mechanical engineering. Better engines, better gearboxes, better suspension, better aerodynamics. Every improvement required years of testing, years of manufacturing, years of redesign. Progress was measured in model generations. Technology companies operate very differently. They move in months, not decades. If something isn't perfect, they update it. If customers discover a problem, they send new software. If engineers improve an algorithm, millions of devices can become better overnight. That philosophy is now entering the auto industry, and electric cars make it possible. Because once the engine disappears, software suddenly becomes one of the most important parts of the vehicle. That doesn't mean software replaces engineering. Far from it. Ferrari still builds some of the finest driver's cars in the world. Its steering, its balance, its braking. Its racing heritage. Those things cannot simply be downloaded overnight. But acceleration, power delivery, battery management, traction control, those are becoming software problems as much as engineering problems. And software is where companies like Xiaomi have spent their entire lives. Why Ferrari still matters. It's tempting to watch one drag race and declare a winner, but that would completely miss the point. The Ferrari SF90XX remains an extraordinary machine. It's lighter, more engaging, more emotional, built for racetracks as much as straight lines. Owning one is about far more than numbers. It's about heritage, craftsmanship, and decades of engineering excellence. The Xiaomi wins a different competition. It asks a different question. What if breathtaking performance didn't have to cost $700,000? What if software could close part of the gap that once took generations of experience to build? What if speed became something that could be updated instead of redesigned? Those questions matter far beyond Ferrari, because every major automaker is now trying to answer them. The next car war. Looking back, that drag race was never really about Ferrari versus Xiaomi. It was about two completely different ways of thinking. One spent almost 80 years perfecting mechanical performance. The other spent more than a decade mastering software before ever building a car. On the drag strip, those two worlds finally met. That doesn't mean traditional car companies are finished. History rarely changes that quickly. But history does change when the rules change. And electric vehicles are changing the rules. If the future of performance depends not only on engines, but also on batteries, chips, artificial intelligence, and software, then the list of companies capable of building great cars suddenly becomes much larger than it used to be. The Ferrari still represents one of the greatest names in automotive history. No drag race can erase that. But for the first time, a company that once sold smartphones has forced the entire industry to ask a question that would have sounded ridiculous just a few years ago. What if the next generation of great performance cars isn't led by the companies that mastered engines, but by the companies that mastered software? Perhaps that's the real story behind the race. Not that Ferrari lost, but that the definition of a car company may already be changing. And if that's true, this won't be the last time the world sees a technology company lining up beside one of the greatest names in automotive history and expecting to win.